I legally died 3 times, yeah.
Retired Army Staff Sergeant Robert Bartlett was deployed in Iraq in 2005 when his Humvee struck a roadside bomb.
It came through right next to my head and cut me in half from the left corner of my temple down through my jaw. Took my gunner's legs off and then took the top of my truck commander's head off and then went out the other side of the vehicle.
Bartlett was bleeding internally with a collapsed lung and third-degree burns on his face and body. He turned to his gunner.
My jaw was hanging down here. I couldn't say anything. I just looked at him and he just looked at me and we just knew we were going to die together. So I just leaned over in his laps and he just threw his arms around me and tried not to die.
But Bartlett did die, first in a local Army hospital, again in Bartlett, Iraq, and again at Walter Reed Hospital back in the United States. Each time, doctors revived him.
They had to take this skin flap along with an artery on both sides and make like a bottom lip for me here, and that's what you see here as part of my wrist.
The gunner survived too, but Bartlett's truck commander, Staff Sergeant William Brooks, died instantly.
That's a piece of shrapnel right there.
The bomb that struck their Humvee was an explosively formed penetrator, or EFP, specifically tailored to penetrate American armored vehicles.
Iran designed these weapons. Iran smuggled these weapons into Iraq. Iran trained the people how to use those. And there are hundreds and hundreds of Americans that were killed and injured because of that.
In 2019, the U.S. designated Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps a foreign terrorist organization. Iran now wants that designation removed, along with the sanctions that go with it, as part of its nuclear negotiations with the West, known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, or JCPOA.
We have made very clear that the JCPOA is about one thing and one thing only. It's about Iran's nuclear program. If Iran wants these sanctions lifted, they will need to alter their underlying conduct. They will need to change the dangerous activities that gave rise to these sanctions in the first place.
If they want to be less isolated from the rest of the world, there's a deal on the table. Take that deal, come back into compliance, the sanctions relief will come, and the region will be safer for it.
But critics of the deal warned the region will not be safer, saying that in the years the nuclear deal was in effect under the Obama administration, Iran actually increased its financial support for militias and terror groups.
It rewarded bad behavior.
How did that make you feel?
Betrayed. Like my country isn't taking care of me or care about what I did or what I sacrificed or any of what my friends sacrificed or died for.
Bartlett and hundreds of others wrote President Joe Biden earlier this year, urging him not to release any frozen funds to Iran through negotiations until victims of Iranian and Iranian-backed attacks are compensated. So far, they say, the administration has not responded. Carla Babb, VOA News, Washington.
Met him many times. That's right after injury, so